Hello, Adrian Sassoon here, sitting on my staircase next to an 18th century Chinese porcelain vase that has been broken, but it's come back to life in the hands of a contemporary sculptor, Bouke de Vries. He's from the Netherlands, but he lives in England, and he comes across profoundly damaged historic porcelain and using that porcelain makes sculptures. And this is a new piece, good-sized piece of beautiful 18th century porcelain that at some stage been completely smashed. So he's placed it together and found out the original size and shape of the object and had this glass vase blown to that original size. And then inside he's arranged and fixed all the shards, most of the bases down here, and it's sort of in position but arranged with all the painting standing out so you can see it, and showing the repairs are never repaired anymore. It's called a memory vessel, and it's a series of pieces that Bouke has made. As he comes across a unique piece of porcelain, he'll make a unique object, finished here with a paper top wound with string and with his seal, with B de Vries, his initials. And this comes from a great tradition of blue and white decorated porcelain, which originates in China probably in the 14th century, I think, this being 18th century. And people across the world have been impressed, influenced, and used cobalt and other pigments to make blue and white porcelain ever since this historic moment in the 14th century. When it began to be used, it's been used across many cultures and in many different ceramic bodies, not just porcelain. But we here at Adrian Sassoon do show other blue and white porcelain pieces. And I'll just show you one other, which I'm afraid I can't pick up to show you, but I'll pick myself up so you can see it. So this is a piece of blue and white Chinese porcelain, but actually made in China by a British artist, Felicity Aylieff. She teaches at the Royal College of Art in London and works most of the time when she's not teaching in China, in Jingzheng, the historic home of porcelain making, working on quite large-scale pieces. Some things are smaller, and some of her pieces are much larger. But this is true size with me standing next to it. So a substantial object made in sections of porcelain which are dried and put together as one. So the first time they're fired, they are this shape and this complete piece. And the second time it's fired would be for the decoration, which has been applied with massive brush strokes with very watery pigment, which encourages the splashing and the spontaneity. So this comes from a style of work that Felicity Aylieff has been developing over the last 10 or 15 years, where the pieces are different shapes gradually over the years and always are painted just very spontaneously by her and uniquely as a result. There are pieces in museums such as the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, Massachusetts, and it's just a marvellous, massive, contemporary take on the tradition of blue and white porcelain.